Good evening. Notice to the public, if you wish to address the council, please complete the public wishing to address the council form located on either end of the counter and give it to either the chairman or the council clerk prior to the beginning of the meeting. All comments must be addressed to the council as a whole. Addressing individual council members or staff is not allowed. Speakers should be courteous in their choice of words and actions, and comments shall be limited to the issue and cannot involve individuals or staff-related matters. Thank you. Uh, I have a letter here on behalf of Mr. John Amity. Please accept my apologies for not being in attendance at tonight's committee meetings. I have reviewed the agenda and I have made my concerns known. I apologize for any inconvenience my absence may cause. Thank you. And our prayers continue to go to Mr. Amity with a quick recovery. All electronic devices used for communication should be silenced for the duration of the meeting. I'd like to call the meeting of the Public Service Committee to order. Invocation and pledge by Ms. Chauvin.
Heavenly Father, we come today to conduct business for Terrebonne Parish. We ask for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Please grant us those things so that we may make the best decisions for our community. In the name of Jesus, amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ms. Chauvin. Roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Mr. Pleasure, Mr. Hardy, Mr. Voisin,
Here.
Mr. Amity, Mr. Champagne, Mr. Hamner, Mr. Babin, Ms. Chauvin, Mr. Trusclair. Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum present.
Thank you, ma'am. Resolution authorizing the parish president to execute a cooperative endeavor agreement with the state of Louisiana, Department of Transportation and Development for mowing and litter pickup along certain state roadways in the parish of Terrebonne. Moved by Mr. Babin, second by Mr. Hamner. Mr. Trosclair?
Yes, thank you. Question I have is on the reimbursement, is that gonna equal our cost of doing this, or because I know previously we tried to work CEAs out and the state wouldn't even cover our direct costs for doing it. And I'm looking at, the rates in here. I just wondering if it's.
Yeah, they're still cutting at the rates that they agree to, which is the per mile cost. What we're looking at is situations where they're not able to get to some areas. We are still working on other CA adjustments, and they're also talking about adjusting those costs. But for right now, we're looking to cut some areas that are causing safety problems for our residents and get paid something for it at this point. There might be an area too, because we've been talking about like 24 going to Thibodeau, where we might have to cut that without getting reimbursed, but where they do it 4 times, we might have to do it that 5th and probably in that August, September timeframe. But this is specifically related to us adding 311 and getting paid at the mile reimbursement that they do now.
Okay, so we have already designated areas and highways for this? Or is this just gonna be on an as-needed basis?
So we've been adding, this will be the, if I'm not mistaken, 6th CEA we've signed. We had added Martin Luther King in the tree area that is on Martin Luther King towards Main Street. Now this is allowing us to handle 311 also. That answers your
So
question.
none of this money is going down to buyers?
We're working with them.
Let me rephrase that. None of this grass cutting going
So
down to buyers.
we've been submitting CEAs to them. I want to say we submitted 5, and at the time we submitted 5, they gave us 1. Now they've given us 2. So we're continuing to push to get more, and they can only do it as it relates to funding that they have. At the same time, looking to adjust the rates and offer the opportunity for us to cut more, because they got the new part with Archie now, and that's going to be areas that are not federally funded. So I'm having conversations on cutting grass with both of the departments now, and we'll just continue to work through it. But they finally just gave us a second one when we asked for 3 or 4 more. So
Okay. and-
we're at their discretion and their
Oh,
availability
no
of
doubt,
funds.
yes. And one more question is, the the discrepancies, in in the funding, is that gonna come out of Clay's
I'll let-
budget
I'll let
or?
Clay answer that part of it on the
or-
exact
or-
numbers.
Or general fund? I went brain dead, solid waste.
Clay Nakant, Solid Waste Vegetation Director. On this particular one, y'all approved it about 4 weeks ago, and then state came and said, hey, we'll let y'all do 311, and gave us from Savan to Highway 90. We're about to do it in-house. Also, in the new budget, we proposed a new machine and another person that'll help, and it's not gonna take away from any of the parish roads we're doing now. It's just gonna enhance and make it safer for the residents.
That'll work, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Trusclair. Mr. Harding?
Yeah, I'm somewhat in agreement with that, Mr. Trusclair. I had the same concerns that I had. I didn't see the roads that were in the backup. I don't. Yeah, they just added on those roads that you had. Is in the backup?
It's in the backup, but the only one added is 311. The only one added is Highway 311 to this new one.
Okay, and then so I think someone was in here before and said one time before and said, "Well, are they paying us back well?"
Um, They have the rates. The total reimbursement that's in here is around $19,000. We're gonna get reimbursed.
Yeah, are they paying us?
Yes, they pay, oh, yes, every time we have to submit a report to them, and once, and an invoice, and they pay it an invoice.
So what this conversation has prompted is that they went around and tried to ask who set these rates. We also believe there should be a different rate for a roadway separated by a median with a canal, because you got to make more of a loop. Because of these conversations, they're going to be readdressing the opportunity that that's not included now, and they couldn't find anybody that knew why they picked the numbers they picked. That just shows you kind of how old they are. And so we're going to be hopefully having the opportunity to get more funding through this process.
Well, and my position in this is we're looking at what's going on in the nation and other parishes and stuff like that, and we're covering some areas, and I like the fact that we're gonna be safer, and cosmetically it's gonna look fine for Terrebonne Parish. But I do think, even though I'm in agreement with this, we should press them also to take care of their own, and where we can actually use our resources, because you have to buy another tractor. So how long is it going to take with that $19,000 to actually cover up on that tractor you're going to buy, because you basically going to be using it, from what I'm gathering, in that. So you're looking at whatever that costs, we still have to recover money.
Yes.
That's where I'm at.
And I'll add, across the state, parishes are looking at the fact that, for example, if they're going to cut from the mall to Thibodeau, that area has a lot of growth in it and ends up being 5 foot tall. They might only do 4 when it needs 7, right? So we're having a conversation that says, well, maybe we need to do the 5th, and they won't necessarily reimburse us for that. But at a certain point, we have to be conscious of the safety of our residents, right? When they can't pull out on 24 on either side going to Thibodeau. So it's just some decisions we have to make, and the conversation we're having is being able to do it in-house, what that cost compares to what they bill it or what they reimburse us for, and there's actually not that big a difference in it. If we were to get a contractor involved, that would be a bigger number. But we're able to do it in-house, and we're able to do it at a very close amount until they can get things adjusted. But it's an issue going on around the state that, of course, with all the reimagining of DOTD and all the changes they're making and splitting it up with the new department with Archie, these are all things, are all part of that conversation.
Okay, so what's the idea of cutting and spraying herbicides?
Spraying?
Yeah.
Talking about spraying the roadsides and all? We cut and then we spray to knock the foliage down, so we can come back the second time, don't have to come back as quick to
Yeah,
cut
so
it.
we are cutting and spraying then.
Yes.
Yeah,
we
okay,
cut-
yeah.
I have a spray crew that comes back and follow the tractor routes. about 2 weeks after we cut,
Mhm.
we come back by and we spray just to knock down the foliage. It's not a sterilizer, it's just a broadleaf killer, and it drops it down, so it gives us time to come back to cut it to make the cycle.
Yeah, and I'm only asking the question because we were talking about cutting, and then I know that spraying not only actually helps to suppress and go in between the cuts, you know what I mean, and 100-degree temperatures, it actually save the equipment that you put out there because you got the possibility of breakdowns
Yes.
and that. So we got a maintenance problem there. You know, and of course, I asked a lot of these questions because that's what I used to do. Thank you. I'm good.
Thank you, Mr. Harding. Ms. Chauvin?
Jason, is it a possibility that we can get the list in the order that you're asking for this? Because I see in the places that we're going to do this, and a lot of it is in northern, and we have some pretty bad safety issues when it comes to the bayou areas, like especially in Chauvin by where the Council on Aging is. Like I've had to literally go up there myself and go weed eat, and I think you've sent somebody to cut one time already too. Also by one of the stores, it's really hard for them to get out too. So I'm kind of interested to see, like, I know you give 10 and they give 1. I get that, but I'd like to see where we are down the line in the bayou areas.
Yes, and then look, we get requests that come in. We had a complaint about the grass. I say the grass, but the trees about a tractor supply that people couldn't see pulling out. We went cut that. So
Right.
you know, we definitely responding a lot to emergency issues or potential safety issues. Trying to cut as low as we can. I don't think I mentioned it, and I wanted to. The same people that cut the grass are the same people that fix the potholes on the
Oh,
roads.
I know.
So
I call 'em off on the potholes.
the more we get to cut, the more they get pulled off of potholes for grass and vice versa.
I get it.
And again, as a whole, you know, just like we're looking at trying to get more cycles through our vegetative cutting and getting more efficient with that stuff, we are definitely working on this conversation together with the ultimate goal for them to cut the stuff they need to cut and for us to cut the stuff we need to
Yeah.
cut, but trying to cover safety issues in between. But yeah, we can share that with you.
Okay, thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you, Ms. Chauvin. Mr. Pledger?
Thanks, Mr. Chair. My question is in regards to the total amount that's being proposed here, the 19,870. Is that per cut or per year, or how's that broken out, or is it just one?
That's the maximum they're gonna pay us for the 4 cuts for the year.
Is that enough to cover our costs?
Well, I mean, it's gonna supplement it. I mean, it's my employees, I'm not hiring any extras to do that. That extra employee that I was talking about, the machine, is gonna help push back some of the brush and everything. But we're gonna take care of it in-house.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Pledger. Seeing no further lights, members vote your machines. Uh, 8-0, motion passes. Resolution ratifying the appointment of David A. Waits Engineering and Surveying Incorporated to provide professional engineering services for the replacement of existing gas main lines, project known as Croombar Area Gas Line Improvements Project number 25-gas-44. Moved by Mr. Hamner, second by Mr. Babin. Seeing no lights, members vote your machines. 8-0, motion passes. Resolution providing the acceptance of work performed by Kim Spray South Incorporated in accordance with the Certificate of Substantial Completion for Parish Project number 25-NRCS-09, Hurricane Francine Vegetation Debris Removal, Terrebonne Parish, Louisiana. Moved by Mr. Babbitt, second by Mr. Champagne. Seeing no lights, members vote your machines. 8-0, motion passes. Consider the introduction of an ordinance to authorize a cooperative endeavor agreement for the lease of property being a portion of parcel number 38055 from property owners authorize the parish president to execute any and all documents necessary for the cooperative endeavor agreement to lease property and to provide for other matters relative thereto, and call a public hearing on Wednesday, December 10th, 2025 at 6:30 PM. Moved by Mr. Babin, second by Mr. Champagne. Mr. Harding.
May I ask where did this acquisition generate from?
Not sure. I don't think- Is it? Oh. Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, what was the question? This,
Well, who came up with the idea for it? It's not the
Oh.
Kim.
well, this little quick history, this was always, if you look even on Google Earth, it's considered Mandalay Park, Southdown Mandalay Park. When I took over the grass cutting, that area, I couldn't find a lease. There was always, it was told us through District 9, looked into it. Short story, there was no lease. At the time, they didn't want to do a written lease. And since then, they contacted Mr. Babin and Noah and myself, and we went sit down and talked to them, and they want to do a lease now so we can open that park back up.
And basically they use that for fishing, right?
Fishing, we're not gonna be putting, maybe a picnic table or something there, but no equipment or anything, just, and the agreement is, we're gonna take care of the grass and the trees, and they're gonna give us the lease for no charge.
10 years. 10 years.
10 years, I think we can both cancel, with a 60-day notice, I think it is, if I remember reading the, lease correctly.
Yeah, I just was wondering because it was in a particular area that was close to a recreation district, and then we actually incorporating that area right there.
Right.
And it is an area where, man, the concern has been that's an area where lilies actually conjure up all
Right,
too.
we've been getting an unbelievable amount of complaints from the public wanting to know why we stopped cutting that park that they like to go, relax in, fish in on the bayou side. And, we had to keep explaining to them that it wasn't a parish park, wasn't parish property, couldn't cut it, legally. With this agreement, we can take care of it and provide insurance, to cover anything on the property that happens.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harding. Mr. Babin.
Yeah, this has been a park for a long time. It's also gotten to be an area that became, since they stopped, a dump. People have been dumping a lot of their trash and stuff in there. Mr. Narcan, through grants and stuff, we already have the cameras up. He's already got the property description. We're gonna be signing the papers within a couple of weeks. The Sanak family owns this property. And somehow or another, it got messed up a few years back, but we were able to sit down with them. And again, we've all gotten calls why we stopped cutting the grass there. And it's because we did not have a lease. So now we will have it. It's a beautiful area for people just to go relax and fish. And as far as the lilies, that water bottoms right there, that area is a reservoir for the Waterworks District. That's not something that we take care of. The Waterworks Districts take care from the Miners Canal to Jim Bowie Park.
Thank you, Mr. Babin. Mr. Pledger.
Okay, I got some questions in regards to that park. According to the parcel number 38055, that relates to 3648 Southdown Mandalay, right? The address.
I believe so, yes.
Right. Well, that's what I got here in the backup, okay? And that address is in the middle of the cane field, but it doesn't reflect that on the assessor's website with the parcel number that reflects here of 38055. So that's not saying that it's on the Bayou side.
Okay, I would
So,
have
but
to-
what seems like what we're explaining is it's on the Bayou side, but
Correct.
it doesn't reflect that with what we have right
It
here.
was all part of the batture that it was, all the same.
I get it totally, but it's, it's kind of confusing for me to look at it if it's 3648, which references 38055 as the parcel, it doesn't reflect the bayou side, part of that, of the parcel.
We have a survey that's being conducted right now that's going to mark out that particular area, and it's going to be available. We're just waiting on the surveyor to submit the stuff that we submitted. The location is marked off and everything at this time.
Right, and I see that, that we're gonna put, we're saying this is gonna be a part of quality of life. So there's no cost associated with the agreement between the family and the parish. There's no cost, but there's cost that's associated with it because based on what I read here, we're paying for the surveying, we're paying for the upkeep, we're paying for the benches, tents, whatever we're gonna put out there. So do we have a cost analysis on what it'll cost us to be able to maintain this piece of property for 10 years, and what's going to happen to whatever we put out there, such as equipment and things like that in 10 years? That's my question. Anybody?
I don't plan on, we have no plans of putting any equipment. I said a picnic table or something like that, but we have no plans. When I said that, it was that we have no plans or anything for hard equipment, playground equipment. It's mainly just a drive park for someone to walk into and all. For us, the grass cutting, we was cutting it at the time, and I've talked to the contractor. He's going to continue cutting it for $60 a cut, and that's our cost.
Okay, and it's a good thing I do see there that those oak trees are nice shaded trees, and I see the part of that is that the requirement is we can't disturb the oak trees or anything like that. So, okay, I guess once we have it surveyed, that's when we'll see that part included on the actual parcel number of 38055.
You should have that by the public hearing. It
Yeah,
should
yeah,
have
yeah,
been,
that's
we
fine.
just was trying to get it in before rushing the end of the year.
Gotcha, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pledger. Mr. Trustclair?
Yeah, just kind of clarify a little bit. Okay, and I haven't been there, so I'm just going by what Councilman Pledger said. If this Batcher is part of a larger parcel, you know, it's not saying that we only gonna be maintaining, this saying, you know, this ordinance is saying we'll be maintaining parcel number or whatever. So if this is part of you know, another parcel, you know, if we don't clarify this in our ordinance, well, then we could be legally liable to maintain the whole parcel. And, you know, like I said, I haven't been there. It just is all just coming to me, and I'm asking questions just to make sure that we, you know, we get what we want and we want what we get.
I think Ms. Neal would have to answer that because we did, we're only taking care of what we surveyed out, and I'm not sure if that's on.
Ms. Deal?
Thank you. So if you look at executive summary, it does say in the executive summary title, in the caption, it's a portion of parcel 38055. And also the ordinance in the third whereas, we're talking about a portion of parcel 38055. Described further below. And then if you look at the backup, that's where you see in highlighted a description of the property. That's what Ms. Denake was talking about when he said that we were waiting on a survey to be issued so that we can have a meets and bounds description of the actual lease and the footprint that the lease is gonna take up.
Okay, all right. So I guess at that point, we will be determined, that the exact portion will be determined at that point.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
You bring up,
Mr. Pledger?
I'm sorry, thanks, Mr. Chair.
You're welcome, sir.
You bring up a good point there in the backup. It also says the insurance requirements for that. So I'm assuming that we have to insure this piece of property. But could we, or would we fall under say if it was a park where we're not liable for
So
anything?
there, I know what you're getting at, Councilman Pledger. So yes, we definitely would have immunity for anything that happens out there if we deem this to be a public park and for recreation purposes, which we will. But we usually always acquire insurance for those parks anyway. It's, just a backup.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pledger. Thank you, Ms. Neal. Seeing no further lights, members vote your machines. 8-0, motion passes. Consider the introduction of an ordinance to amend Chapter 18, Article 4, Division 2, Section 18-88 of the Terrebonne Parish Code of Ordinances to create a three-way stop at the intersection of Adley Avenue and Kingfisher Drive, to provide for the installation of said signs and to provide for other matters relative thereto, and call a public hearing on said matter on Wednesday, December 10th, 2025 at 6:30 PM. Moved by Mr. Babin, second by Ms. Chauvin. Seeing no lights, members vote your machines. 8-0, motion passes. Motion to adjourn by Ms. Chauvin, second by Mr. Hamner. Seeing no lights, members vote your machines. Members vote your machines. 8-0, meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Notice to the public, if you wish to address the council, please complete the public wishing to address the council form located on either end of the counter and give it to either the chairman or the council clerk prior to the beginning of the meeting. All comments must be addressed to the council as a whole. Addressing individual council members or staff is not allowed. Speakers should be courteous in their choice of words and actions, and comments shall be limited to the issue and cannot involve individuals or staff-related matters. We ask that all cell phones and electronic devices used for communication should be silenced for the duration of the meeting. I'd like to call the Terrebonne Parish Council Budget and Finance Committee to order. We'll have an invocation by Mr. Charles Champon and pledge by myself. Thank you. Put your light on, Kevin.
Heavenly Father, as we gather here today, we seek your guidance and wisdom. Grant us clarity of thought and unity of purpose as we deliberate on matters that affect our community. May our discussions be filled with integrity, compassion, and a commitment to the common good of all those we serve. We ask for your blessing on our efforts and strength to carry out the duties of this parish council. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Ms. Alicia. Can we get a roll call, please?
Mr. Pleasure, Mr. Harding, Mr. Voisin, Mr. Amity, Mr. Champagne, Mr. Hamner, Mr. Babin, Ms. Chauvin, Mr. Trusclair. Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum present.
Thanks, Ms. Alicia. From Honorable John Amity, Councilman District 4, please accept my apologies for not being in attendance at tonight's committee meetings. I have reviewed the agenda and have made my concerns known. I apologize for any inconvenience my absence may cause. Thanks, John Amity. Also, I would like to take a second to recognize the students, nursing students from Nicholls State that will be graduating in May, because we're going to tell them that they was here. They have to come out to council meetings and view our public and see what we have going on, learn a little bit about the public. So thank you guys for being here this evening. Okay, item number 1, resolution supporting Gulf Island LLC in its participation in industrial tax exemption program, RE 202-00278 ITE. Move Mr. Clyde Hamner, second Mr. John, Danny Babin. Seeing no lights, members vote your machines. Vote 7-0, motion passes. Item number 2, consider the introduction of an ordinance to authorize the acquisition of property from Terry LeBlanc Montero and Thomas Montero located at 4108 West Park Avenue, Gray, Louisiana, 70359, and/or referenced as parcel number 5019 in the records of Terrebonne Parish Assessor's Office. A log described below for the Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government, TPCG, to facilitate the needs of the North Terrebonne Branch Library for additional parking and other need adjacent to and/or in the vicinity of the North Terrebonne Branch Library. Authorize the parish president to execute and all documents necessary to acquire said property for the said purposes, subject to approval of the Board of Control, Terrebonne Parish Library, and to provide for other matters relative thereto, and call a public hearing on Wednesday, December 10th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. Move Mr. Carl Harding, second Mr. Clyde Hamner. Seeing no lights, members vote your machines. Votes 8-0, motion passes. Item number 3, consider the introduction of an ordinance to amend the 2025 adopted operating budget of the Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government for the following items. Item number 1, animal shelter, $83,623. Item number 2, animal shelter, $24,102, and call a public hearing on said matter on Wednesday, December 10th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. Move Mr. Danny Babin, second Ms. Kim Chauvin. Seeing no lights, members vote your machines. Votes 8-0, motion passes. Item number 4, consider the introduction of an ordinance to amend the 2025 adopted operating budget of Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government for the following item. Item number 1, Office of Emergency Preparedness, $3,200, and call a public hearing on said matter on Wednesday, December 10th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. Move Mr. Clyde Hamner. Second, Mr. Kevin Charles Champagne. Seeing the lights, members vote your machines. Votes 8-0, motion passes. Item number 5, consider the introduction of an ordinance to amend the 2025 adopted operating budget of the Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government for the following items. Item number 1, Downtown Development Corporation, $86,385, and call a public hearing on said matter on Wednesday, December 10th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. Move Mr. Danny Babin. Second, Mr. Champagne. Seeing no lights, members vote your machines. Votes 7-0, motion passes. Item number 6, consider the introduction of an ordinance to amend the 2025 adopted operating budget of the Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government for the following items. Item number 1, Downtown Development Corporation, $4,750, and call a public hearing on said matter on Wednesday, December 10th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. Move Mr. Champagne. Second, Mr. Carl Harding. Seeing no lights, members vote your machines. Votes 8-0, motion passes. Item number 7, consider the introduction of an ordinance to amend the 2025 adopted operating budget of the Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government for the following items. Item number 1, dedicated emergency fund, $19,440,005. Item number 2, dedicated emergency fund, $1,237,375, and call a public hearing on said matter on Wednesday, December 10th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. Move Mr. Danny Babin, second Mr. Clyde Hamner. Seeing no lights, members vote your machines. Votes 8-0, motion passes. Item number 8, to review the proposed 2026 budget for the following funds, departments, and agencies. There's 9 bulleted items, and at this point, we'll let Ms. Candace put her light on and do her thing.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Pledger. So our first one for tonight is our quarter-cent capital improvement sales tax. So we have our proposed revenues and our proposed transfers out. This capital improvement sales tax is first used to pay any debt service payments on bonds, so principal and interest, and then anything left over we will put towards new projects or new funding towards projects. We do try to keep a reasonable fund balance within this capital improvement fund in order to have some funding available if we start seeing a decline and still be able to make those bond payments.
Mr. Trostclair.
Yes, Candace, we're proposing with the capital improvement, tax 7.3 million roughly. How much is that is dedicated for, previous issues?
So all of here, I think this isn't working, Tammy. Can you go to the next? I think there's one.
Basically, what I'm trying to ask is, how much do we have left over for the
Yes,
capital
sir.
projects?
So the proposed transfer out. No, that's it. Where I was, I'm sorry. So the proposed transfer out of 3.9 million is what we're paying out for bond payments. And then we have the rest that's going to capital improvements. This does not include the bonds that we just issued.
So what fund would that be coming from?
That budget amendment wasn't on tonight. Sorry, just realized that. Oh, we might have put it on Wednesday. Can you ask me that again? I'm sorry.
So the new bond, where will be,
It's gonna come out of here as well.
a capital improvement fund?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's just not in here right now because when we prepared this, it wasn't done. So we will be putting a budget amendment together for that.
Okay, thank
But
you.
we still have enough to pay those principal and interest and still have a reasonable balance.
I'm just looking for a reasonable balance.
Yes, sir. It's there, I promise. Okay, so the next slide is showing the transfers for those capital projects this year, 2026, and what that reasonable balance will be proposed for this fund. Next is going to be,
I'm sorry. Can we go back to that previous slide? Yeah. On there, we have the chiller rentals. That's for government tower and the jail at 301,000.
yes, sir.
Couple bullets down from that, we have the jail chillers, 750.
That's to replace the jail chillers, that we won't have to do that rental all the time, the rest of the year.
Now, the 301, I'm sure a portion of that is here, government tower, and the other portion is for the jail. So it's two different numbers.
It is two different numbers that are together. It is not a large number that is going for this building because the repairs that are being done right now to our HVAC system we will no longer have to do that rental.
Okay, so is it a fair statement to say or assume that with the rental for the chillers, that's a bulk of that, like you said, is of the 301 is for the jail. So a bulk of that is the money's for the jail, but the jail chillers are costing 750. So a few months rental would cover that 750, in other words, right?
Yes, sir.
And how long do we have a projection of
We don't.
when we're gonna do
We
that?
don't. We've started to receive, started the bid process. So since it is, greater than the 250, we're gonna have to start working on the bid process. We're hoping to get it started early in the year. But we can't do anything until it's budgeted. So we can't do anything, start even the bid process until January 1 when the budget is adopted and it's in place.
Okay, and the 500,000 that we did the emergency ordinance for, I'm sure those funds that we approved here at the council, those funds are what's covering this cost until they're exhausted, right?
No,
Or-
sir.
No?
This is all coming out of the capital projects fund.
So,
The emergency funding that we did was not for the chiller rentals or the chillers there. We had that already in place.
I don't understand what you mean.
The emergency money was for something else,
But
some
we
other
did-
projects at the jail.
But I thought the ordinance read that it was to replace like some kettles or kitchen equipment and also the air conditioning units there.
I believe we can verify this for you, but I believe it's a different repair, a different component than the chillers.
Okay,
Lot of issues at the field.
obviously, yeah. Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay, so next is our road district number 6. Sorry, Tammy. This is a ad valorem tax that is collected for a specific area in District 6, and this is the revenues and the expenditures.
What's the fund balance in that district?
So the proposed fund balance is that 24,506, but I believe what you really want to know is what is available in the contractor's repair account. And I can tell you if I can find the right one. No, that doesn't tell me. We have about 300,000 left in that contractor's repair account.
Okay,
And whatever is not spent in 2025 gets carried over to 2026.
Correct.
So we're adding 150,000 to that in 2026.
correct. Thanks.
Yes, sir. The next slide will be our road lighting districts. So this revenue in all of these funds, it's just kind of combined here, is all based on the millages that the council has already approved to levy. So this is what is being billed to citizens for their property tax bill due December 31st, 2025, and we use it for 2026's revenue. So this is based on that ordinance that was passed earlier in the year.
Question there, Ms. Candace. On the total figures here for the road lighting districts, do we share any of those funds between road lighting
No, sir.
districts? Even though they're taxed items, okay?
So they're not, because those millages that are called and voted on, the propositions have
Yeah.
specific boundaries.
Gotcha, thanks, just making sure.
All right, next will be our health unit fund. So here's our proposed revenues and expenditures.